third recipe now. And this one is a delectable dessert that can also be enjoyed as a nutrient-rich snack at any time of day. And we know that one of the key recommendations for cancer prevention is to reduce our intake of added sugars. But it does not mean that we need to remove all naturally occurring sugars like those that we find in fruits, that we find in whole grains from our diet. Desserts can be nutritious and delicious as well, and can be enjoyed in small amounts and in moderation. What we're also going to do with this demo, to keep with our theme of proper food safety practices, is talk a little bit more about proper storage and transport of foods. These are important elements to keep in mind. And so with the transport, it could be whether you're taking this to a picnic, to a barbecue, or it could be that you're taking this to a friend who's in the hospital, a loved one that's in the hospital, bringing them a little treat that they can enjoy between their meals. This is really a good idea, especially if their appetite is poor. Okay, back to the kitchen with Jeremy. Oh, I didn't even talk about what it was called, silly me. Olive oil oat muffins with lemon curd. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Awesome. Thanks, Daniela. Yes, so lemon curd, we're bearing the lead with it at the end of the recipe title. It's one of my favorites. I love making it fresh. It's so easy to make from scratch too. And like Daniela mentioned, we're in control, so we can adjust the ingredients how we like it. But I'm going to show you a really simple, really easy way to put that together. But to serve it with, we're going to make these really nice olive oil oat muffins, really nice little snack. And what's lovely about it is that we're just using oats. So you can do this with any flour. You can definitely do this with like an all-purpose flour. It'll work as well. But I love the idea of using just oats and just blitzing them up in either a blender or a food processor until they're nice and fine, so that it's almost like a coarse flour. This is pretty much all we're using for the dry component. To start, we're going to add our wet ingredients here. Okay, so we're going to start off with 1 egg. Crack it in. Then we're going to, I'll give that a quick whisk. We're going to add 1 cup of, you can add milk or any milk alternative. You just need a liquid in there. So if you want to keep it dairy free, you can definitely use like an almond milk or with soy milk or something like that. We're gonna add just a little bit of honey for sweetness. This is where you can control. You can add as much or as little. I'm gonna add like 3 tablespoons. So they're not gonna be super sweet. They are almost like on the sweet and savory, I guess, side. But because we're pairing it with the lemon curd, we're gonna have a little bit of sweetness coming from there. And a little bit of lemon zest. So I know we're pairing it with the lemon curd, but a little touch of that lemon zest that we have in them both. Fantastic. Okay, so that's the wet ingredients. Now for the dry, we're doing 2 cups of that oat, the ground oats, or you can buy it as like oat flour. Work as well. 2 cups. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Finish there. We're going to just combine this. So this is essentially our batter. This is our muffin batter. Now, because we're using oat flour, we're not going to get a super fluffy rise like we would out of like an all-purpose flour, even like a whole wheat flour you can use. So these are meant to be a little more of like a biscuit style. They're super satisfying. All right. So we have our batter, muffin batter ready to go, and then you can go ahead and add those into your muffin liners here. I find that I've been searching high and low for a good muffin liner that does not stick. And because there's nothing worse than having that paper just stick.
Have you found one?
Oh, which one? Have I found one?
Have you found them? Yeah.
Oh, yes. So I think so. This is it's the same company that makes parchment paper. So they're essentially parchment paper muffin liners.
Okay.
And they are really good. So these are my favorite. They don't stick. Price wise, they're not too bad for the amount you get. I think in the grocery store here, they may have been $3.99, but you get like 100 of them. So not the worst thing, especially compared to regular ones. Like it's not like they're that much more than regular ones, but they're definitely worth just not having a headache.
I have some silicone ones, but I do find it gets a little fastidious cleaning them afterwards.
Yes,
But
those
they're
are,
good
yeah,
too.
but those are a good idea too, because so that, whoa, all right,
Oops. Double
clean up
muffin.
aisle 9. It's okay, you get the idea. In the live show here, there's no edits.
It happens even to the best of us, it seems.
I got distracted by all the parchment muffin liner talk.
Yes, yes.
All right. So last one here, I'll fix the other two. In the oven, 350 for about 18 to 20 minutes. You can put a, like most like testers for like muffins or cakes, put a toothpick in the middle, comes out clean, you're good to go. And I have them done here, so I'll just show you quickly.
Oh, beautiful.
Nice, yeah. They're not showstoppers, but they're really, really nice. And they're still really nice and fluffy inside. Actually, these ones I added a little bit of chia seed too, because I had some chia seed. So that's where you can punch it up a little bit if you want to throw some like nuts or seeds. I put some chia seeds in here. You can definitely do that. But for the star of the show, I think anyways, we're going to make a lemon curd. So this is, you can do lemon curd a couple ways. Traditional way is bain-marie over a water bath, hot water bath, and you're going to be slowly whisking until everything comes together, which is great, makes it silky smooth. I've come across this method, which we're using a microwave, which I can't notice a big difference, especially because we're going to be passing it through a sieve after, and it's so much easier. Plus, we're hitting the minimum food safety internal temperatures that we want to hit. So I like this method, and I'll show you how to do it. So in our bowl, you know what I just realized, and again, we're doing it live, so it doesn't matter. I forgot my olive oil in the muffin batter.
Oh.
So it happened. We'll redo it. I already made them already, so it doesn't matter. When you're making it, check my ingredient list. There's olive oil. They're olive oil muffins. So yeah, of course it's gonna have olive oil. Anyway,
And I missed it too. I was thinking about the olive oil, but I thought, oh, maybe you already put it in.
yeah. Add the olive oil. Don't forget the olive oil.
Okay.
Muck like me. Okay. We're adding for these the lemon curd. 3 tablespoons of butter. So it has a little bit of butter in here, which is sort of key for a lemon curd. We're adding half a cup of lemon juice, very lemony. It's quarter cup. With the butter, make sure that it's melted first. Mine was just coming up to room temp again, but melted first so that it incorporates a little bit easier. 2 whole eggs. I'm using the entire egg here. And again, there's different variations of this recipe. I just find that this is like really nice and easy to follow. There's no waste of just using the egg yolks. and getting all fussy with that. A little bit of lemon zest. And whisk away.
I like that you're using the whole egg because the yolk actually is where you get the vitamin D. And it has a bunch of other nutrients in there along with the protein that you would get from the white of the egg. So I like that you're using the whole egg. Mhm.
I'm going to add a little bit of honey. So this is where you can adjust for sweetness. So I'm adding about 4 tablespoons. Now this makes quite a bit, so it is incorporated throughout the entire dish, and then just whisk. This is really the most important part. I want to make sure that everything is whisked nice and evenly together. And this is more of a traditional lemon curd. I can do this as like a lime curd and use it with lime juice. Okay, so have everything incorporated here. Now it's time to go to the microwave. 45-second intervals, just until it's thick enough where it coats the back of the spoon. I find about 5 to 6 times. It all depends on the temp or the power level of your microwave, but you can do it at a higher temp or higher power. And about 5 to 6 times at 45-second intervals, and just whisk it when it comes out each time. As you enter the later stages, it will start boiling, it'll start bubbling. So just be careful, be mindful. Use a dish towel if you need to take it out. And maybe I'll throw it to you, Daniela, while I get this already started.
Yeah. So I like that we're trying to do this in it, not trying, he's doing it differently in the microwave. And that's because egg is another high risk food, right? We don't, it also can carry salmonella. And so you want the egg to be well cooked. And there actually are a lot of desserts out there. I know, like the tiramisu that my mom used to make, or my relatives in Italy, that has raw egg in it. And we need to move over to having pasteurized, well-cooked eggs. So I like that. The other thing about the eggs, maybe I'll go to the nutrition part. I already talked about the yolk and how it has the vitamin D in it, and the whole egg itself can provide 7 grams of protein. But I think it's important to remind ourselves that you don't have to worry about eating eggs. It's has cholesterol, yes, it is in the yolk, but it's the dietary cholesterol, and that is not what you need to worry about if you have heart disease. What we want to watch out for more are like the saturated fats in the diet, versus eliminating the yolk of the egg. But I just saw Jeremy do the little quick whisk there. And I'm going to switch over now to talk about cross-contamination, right? Because whisking the egg, and also when we talked about the chicken, you want to make sure that you're using a new utensil each time. So you're not introducing any of the bacteria from the raw egg or the raw chicken in the previous dish back into the mixture. So Jeremy actually is washing it each time before he uses it. So that's what's important as well. And the other thing, more, Jeremy, or yeah, keep
Maybe
going.
on storage, I think that might be.
Yes, go on to storage.
Yeah,
Yes.
perfect.
So we were asked many times, how long can I keep this in the fridge? Or how long can I keep this in the freezer? And there is a general rule of thumb, like we say 2 to 3 days for something that's in the fridge, up to 3 months for the freezer. But what we really love is this detailed chart that you can get if you go to Health Canada. Go to Health Canada, look for general food safety tips, and then go to safe food storage. And they have a beautiful chart that tells you specifics for, like, if we're looking at cheese, it talks about hard cheese, soft cheese, semi-soft cheese. It talks about your different types of animal proteins. And we like that. We encourage that, and we'll probably include it in our resources so that you can have a more detailed guide as to storage times. And Oh, okay. Something's going on up there. Okay. So I'll move on to the temperature danger zone. Okay, so this is another area that is important to talk about. And so what is the danger zone? What are we talking about with food temperature danger zone? Well, the temperature danger zone is between 4 degrees Celsius to 60 degrees Celsius, or 40 Fahrenheit to 140 Fahrenheit. And it's called the danger zone because that is where bacteria loves to grow. They flourish within that area. And so that is why we say it's best to keep hot foods hot. So you want to have them above 140 degrees Fahrenheit, and cold foods cold. You want them to be at 4 degrees or below. Cold temperature will keep bacteria from growing, so it stops the growth. And the hot temperatures can kill many of the scary type of bacteria like Campylobacter and Salmonella. And that's what's important to keep into consideration. And you just saw now that Jeremy used his digital thermometer to make sure that this product is achieving the important internal temperature so we don't have bacteria.
Yes, thanks, Neela. Yes, so I ran this about 4 times at 45 seconds, just whisking it each time. I could already tell by the last time it was boiling. So just to double check, we used our food thermometer going into the middle. I don't want to touch any part of the bowl. I want to go into the middle of the product, and it went well above 165 Fahrenheit, which is what I was anticipating. And clean your food thermometers before you put the lid back on, and we're good to go. So to double check the consistency, use a spoon, just make sure it coats the back of a spoon just like that, and you're good to go. It is hot, so it will continue to thicken as it sits in your refrigerator. Now, because I use the whole egg, and because we're using a microwave, it's not a slow sort of cook process like we would with a bain-marie. You might get a little bit of that white scrambled in there, which is fine. It happens. Even if you're doing it the other method, it could happen as well. And so this is just, I do this for a lot of sauces, dressings, curds in general. We're going to pass it through a sieve just to remove any of those cooked particles. It's more just a texture thing, right? I want it to be nice and silky smooth. I'm going to pour that into our sieve and then use a spatula to pass it through. And I can see, so it's not too bad, but got a few of those cooked, scrambled white parts of the egg. We'll scrape the bottom. Every last little bit. And then we have our incredibly creamy curd.
Love lemon curd.
Oh, it smells so good, so fresh. So this, we'll let it cool. So you can store that in the fridge. General rule of thumb, 3 to 4 days in the fridge, sealed, or freezer. And I tend to freeze this. If I'm making a big batch, I tend to freeze it. It lasts up to 6 months frozen, which is fantastic. You can put them into little ice cream or ice cube trays, and then you can defrost it. You can add it into desserts after, into cakes if you're making, or muffins, whatever you're doing. And for us, we will be using a little oat muffin here. So I might cut this in half. A little oat muffin. Another one on the side. This one does have the olive oil. I did not forget this spoon. And so this is the curd, same lemon curd, but it's just been in the refrigerator. And if it develops a skin on top, you can just sort of stir that in. But here's what we're looking like.
Beautiful.
Yeah, super, super smooth, creamy. And the egg has been cooked all the way through. And this is, I guess, nice too, is like a nice little treat or if you need, what do you think? You know, a little.
Yeah, I was going to say I'd probably eat the lemon curd on its own as well. But we talked about it being a great little dessert and also being a great snack. And I think what that, you know, we know that a lot of people who have cancer may have trouble maintaining their weight, may have trouble with appetite. Also, if they have nausea, they may have trouble with smells. And I think this would be great for people who are experiencing low appetite or nausea, because the lemony taste is awesome, and then it's such a high protein. You have eggs in the oat muffins, and you also have eggs in the I was going to say the bain-marie, the lemon curd. So it's high protein, and then the olive oil, you're getting some good calories. That looks amazing.
Yeah, love this. This for me, like, I'm a lemon fan. And I'm not a big sweet tooth person, but if I do indulge, it would be a lemon source of some sort. So really nice. And the muffins are nice. Like, they're not super sweet. They're just a really nice oat snack, and but with a little bit of lemon curd on top. It's, you know, nice little treat. So there we go. We did it.
We did it, and we have one more food safety tip.
Yes.
Talk about, and that's the transport. So first, it goes again with this being an egg product, and it also goes with the chicken sliders. Any food, you want to minimize the amount of time it's at room temperature. So if you have this sitting out, just put out what you're going to eat within that 2-hour time frame, so you don't have to then throw out the lemon curd because it's been sitting for more than 2 hours. But this is also a lovely item that you can take to someone who's ill in the hospital. And if you're doing that, you want to make sure that you put it in an insulated cooler with freezer packs or a thermal bag that keeps it cold, right, Jeremy, to take to the hospital. Also, maybe even to take to a picnic. Would you agree?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. What you can do as well, I know that some of the more modern coolers have it already integrated, but what I like to do is you can buy these little thermostats. And they're pretty cheap now. You can get them online. That way you can toss them into your, you know, if you have a little soft cooler, or if you have more of the like larger traditional coolers, you know, put it in there, and that way you have a better idea, even with the ice packs. But sometimes as the day goes on, the ice melts, the temperature will start to rise a little bit, right? So it's a good way to sort of keep an eye on that. But yeah, love that tip.
Yeah, that keeps it out of the temperature danger zone. So.
Yes, stay out of the danger zone. Unless
I always think, is it Top Gun?
Top Gun, I was gonna say, yes.
Yeah,
Unless
yeah.
you're Tom Cruise.
You don't want me to sing, but that's what's going through my head.
Save that for the after recording, yeah. And there we go. We
That's
did it. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for another amazing community connections from our Elixir Kitchen team. Again, just a reminder that all of these recipes, including the dessert with the olive oil that I missed, will be posted in detail on our website, elixirkitchen.ca. So you can check back in about a day for that. As well as we're close to about 700 recipes on our website. So lots of recipe content on there for any inspiration that you're looking for, categorized by side effect and meal type. And our YouTube channel for any nutrition videos, cooking videos, any of our live classes that we have coming up. You can check that out. If you subscribe, we really appreciate it. And if you click the notification bell, it will give you a heads up anytime we have an upcoming class. Speaking of, our next class is on June 20th.
Correct. Yeah.
Thursday, June 20th. And join us same place on our YouTube channel. So until then, I don't know if there's anything else from you, Daniela.
No, nothing else. Just enjoy the rest of May. Enjoy the spring weather that's coming along, or the summer weather.
Yes. And happy cooking, and enjoy the long weekend. Until next time, take care, everybody. Bye, Daniela.